All right, so I got an idea. How about we finish painting a miniature for once? Greetings, good humans, and welcome to Tabletop Alchemy, where sometimes we actually finish painting a miniature. Oh boy. And we thank our patrons for supporting such accomplishments and achievements in life. Thank you guys. All right, so yes, finally, this is, I don't know, I think Orc Part 7 of a series where we just talked about random topics while painting a miniature, which is actually kind of a fun thing to do. Right now, I'm finishing up the Orc here as we talk. I was getting really busy and had lots of stuff going on, which things are still going on and stuff, but I was just painting this miniature 2 to 4 hours a week, and just, you know, we would just chat about a topic while I put the painting footage next to me. Yeah, so we've been doing that, and this, I believe, is the 7th video of this, which does not equate to exactly 14 hours of work on this miniature. I don't really know, actually, to be honest. It's definitely less than 20 and more than 10. That's all I can say. And it's still not quite there. There's still like stuff I could do on this Orc. I mean, I could just continue to do stuff. There are a couple things I would maybe change colors on. I don't know what I think about how I painted how I did up the cannon. I kind of like it, but it's kind of a bright metal, which is probably not correct. It probably needs to be a darker, you know, like a heavy iron sort of look. I was using the Vallejo metal colors, which definitely have a pretty distinctive metallic look to them. And so I just decided to kind of go with it, and had a little bit of rust and stuff, but it should probably be a darker, you know, just a darker, blacker iron color. But I'm kind of just going to let it go because it has a weird finish to it, a weird, very metallic, like a very metallic finish to it. And actually, completely off topic, but I saw that the old line of P3 paints from Privateer Press, which used to produce War Machine and Hordes and stuff, they got bought out by Steamforged Games, and Steamforged Games has now released a new line of P3 paints, which is kind of just an update of the old formula. So it's very similar to the old formula. I don't have them personally myself. I actually really like P3 paints. That was the first paint line that I decided to go with when I got back into this hobby after 20 years, about 7 years ago. And I kind of went with them initially because they had the old paint pots I was used to from the old Citadel paints of that particular time frame back when I kind of got out of the hobby. But they turned out to be really nice paints. But, you know, we've gotten into contrast paints and the transparent paints, and you know, I've branched out into the what do I got over there? The AK Interactive 3rd Gen paints and the Vallejo paints and stuff. And they're all great. But I do really like the P3 paints. I'm not going to buy a whole nother range of paints. That's just craziness at this point. But I did hear the P3 paint line is having its second, you know, they release these paint lines in sort of, I think Steamforge originally released maybe 50 or 60 paints, 50 or 60 colors. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's 40. I don't really know, but they released a bunch. And now they're doing a second release now with some more colors, but also a new line of metallic paints that people are saying this new P3 line of metallics is actually very similar to the Vallejo metal color series. And if that is true, those metallics are going to be worth purchasing. They said that the formula is very similar in tactile finish, visual finish to the Vallejo metal colors, but the Vallejo metal colors are actually thinned to the point for airbrushing. They're really intended for airbrushing. Now, I use them with a paintbrush all the time, and they work fine. But they are thinned, pre-thinned or whatever, formulated for airbrushing, so you can dump them right in the airbrush and go. And what I heard was that this new P3 metallic series had the same quality of finish as the Vallejo metal colors, but at a thicker, more brush-friendly consistency, which would be fantastic. The Vallejo metal colors, they're really, really awesome. They're fantastic metallic paints. I don't know why more people don't use them. They might be slightly more expensive, but they come in bigger bottles too than like our normal hobby size bottle paints. Not that much bigger, but a little bit bigger. And they have like mixing balls in them when you shake them up. Anyway, when those come out, the P3 metallics, I'm definitely going to probably get some of those. Back to the cannons. The cannon has this look, and I like it. It's not right for this cannon necessarily, although who's to say? This is a fantasy figure. I mean, it's an orc pirate. He's just carrying a cannon around like a Gatling gun, so, you know, whatever. I didn't paint the pupils and the eyeballs. They're kind of big enough for me to try to do it, and I don't know. Ever since I got back into the hobby, I kind of just decided I wasn't going to try to paint pupils and eyes anymore because my hands are not, let's just say you wouldn't want me trying to do surgery on you or anything. Might be a little ragged. So I didn't paint the eyeballs, but whatever. He's done. I'm really sick of the orange and green color scheme at this point. I don't want to look at it anymore. But he's a super cool sculpt. I don't know what I think necessarily of the overall figure. There's plenty more I could continue to work on with it. But at some point, I just started to get tired of it because it'd been on my desk for so long. But that's kind of an interesting thing because it actually was the very act of painting this orc over so many weeks was actually starting to inspire me through sort of frustration at painting the same model for so long. It just made me want to paint other miniatures, and I actually pulled out the next batch of minis that I'm going to do for videos, which is another round of goblins, which I already did a few months back. Wow, we have not done a snap in quite a long time. But yeah, I had put together a bunch of goblins from smaller sets from GW, and I painted up, I don't know how many I painted up the first time, 6 or 7. I'm probably painting 5 for the next series, and then there's still 3 left, and they're all sort of the hero models, so they're much more detailed, and they're going to require more time, but I'm looking forward to painting those too. But yeah, goblins are coming up, and they're just fun. I'm just not trying to do it, you know, I'm not necessarily speed painting them, but I'm not necessarily going very slow either. And I'm just kind of having fun with them and being a little loose and not worrying too much about stuff and just gonna have fun with it. And that also feels very liberating after painting this one miniature for so long on the table. I'm just rambling at this point. This is just a full-on ramble. So yeah, I guess here's some final photos of this finished miniature finally. And yeah, I guess overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I guess it's pretty cool. I know I talked about trying to push the highlights like super extreme and stuff, and the contrast really high. I don't think I really achieved that. I tried. I don't know if it's like I try and then I think I'm doing it and I look at it and I'm like, it's not really super contrasty. Like I said about the cannon, I kind of thought about, I did actually think about brushing on some like just black pigment, some dry pigment, you know, to make it really sort of charred looking around the bottom or the front end of the cannon barrel. I didn't do that because my black pigment was out in my car because I used it for weathering wardrobe stuff for Project X, so I didn't have it in the apartment and I was too lazy to go down and get it. Just leave me alone. I can be lazy. Come on. It'd be cool if I knew how to like sort of freehand, you know, like tattoos and stuff. That could have been kind of cool. There's so many little details on them that I just didn't really get to accentuating and stuff. Like there's a lot more that could have been done with the skulls and that are hanging off his chest, and the eyeballs are just sort of flat. I guess I should have painted those. Whatever. He's done. At least for now. And he's going to the display case, and he can be used in a game somewhere at some point. Actually be a pretty cool miniature to put on the table. There was something about after I finished paint the goblins, I was going to say something else about the next. Oh yes, that's right. So I think after I paint these goblins for the next couple of videos, we're going to try an experiment. We're going to try a YouTube experiment, and we'll see how it works. I'm pretty sure I know what the outcome will be, but it'll be fun to run it. It'll be painting miniatures again, but a very specific, popular miniature that I haven't painted in like 30 years. Okay, so I guess that's it. This orc is wrapped up. We're wrapped up. Let's get out of here. Let's go do some hobby, and I will see ya.